listen for this song.
Yes, that is right, folks. I'm interviewing Right Said Fred. I suppose the first question I got for you two today, how did you both sort of get into music together?
I started playing guitar when I was about 12, I think, and I took it quite seriously. So I got a tutor and I had a classical guitar and I learned my finger picking and all this sort of stuff. Then Richard, and I wanted to do that because I wanted to write songs. So I needed an instrument. And when I started writing, Richard quite liked some of the stuff I was writing. So he and being a Paul McCartney fan, he started playing, he got a bass and started playing along.
But yeah, eventually you ended up forming the band together, Right Said Fred. So how did that sort of come about where it was like, yeah, let's make a band and yeah.
Yeah, we first went on the road in '78 with our band called The Actors. And we were supporting Suicide, who are a New York electronica duo. And on that tour, we did shows with Joy Division and The Addicts and a few other bands around at the time. And then we just in and out of record deals under different names. And then we came back from America, having been signed to Capital EMI in New York in '87. And that deal went sour. So we came back and we just wanted to be independent. So we just put Right Said Fred together with no real intention of getting a deal, although we did play it to some labels who hated I'm Too Sexy. They all turned it down. We kind of thought we were happier not being in the matrix, really, just because we were tired of record labels. So that was it. We just started, we put Sexy out on a white label. Our manager got it played on Radio 1, care of Simon Bates, and also Gary Crowley. And the record, to be honest with you, the record just took off. It almost, apart from getting it played and making a video, the record just went mental.
It did, yeah.
It wasn't really.
You were chasing it pretty much.
Yes,
all the time.
It just went out of control.
Yeah.
Records like, I think if Relax, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, if that had been an independent release, it would have done the same without
PSY.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gangnam Style, PSY, all sorts of songs. They seem to have a momentum of their own, and I think I'm Too Sexy one of those.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely did. It became a massive hit in the 90s that people still recognize. I had a neighbor of mine, when I mentioned I'm interviewing Right Said Fred, they went, no way, those guys. How was that song, I'm Too Sexy, made? What was sort of the inspiration behind it? And what was your reaction to it just blowing up and then ending up on like shows like Top of the Pops and all that?
The song was originally, it was the bass line for another song. And we were working in a studio and I could hear the bass line running round on a loop. And it was the first time we'd used a computer. We'd never used a computer before. But I could hear the loop going round and round and round and just started singing, I'm too sexy for my shirt. That's it. And then we sort of thought, the three of us, we were working with Rob Manzoli at the time, and we sort of thought that was a neat idea. And then Frank came up with a way of bringing the whole thing into some kind of logical, making sense in a way with the lyrics. To be honest with you, I think if we were really obsessed with money, we would never have done it because it was nothing like anything else that was going on at the time. Very often being skint is a good thing because when your back's against the wall, you just don't care.
Yeah.
You're reckless. You're reckless. You have nothing to lose because you've got nothing in the first place.
Yeah.
So I think if we had all had buckets loads of money, we would never have released it. It didn't really hit us, I don't think, until it was #1 in America. That was the moment. That was a game changer for us when we suddenly realized, oh, right, okay, this is going mental.
Yeah, and we had some stats thrown at us in terms of how many people had actually been #1 in America at that time, and also how many British artists have been #1 in America at that time. And it's actually quite a small amount when you put it in just in numbers.
I think 750.
Yeah, we met some other songwriters, and we were doing loads of radio, and they were throwing all these stats at us. And it was at that point in America where we thought, yeah, this has gone way out of our reach and control, and out of our manager's control and the record company we were with. It was out of their remit. They weren't like us. They weren't experienced enough really to deal with it. Yeah, the record just had legs of its own, and I think what's really surprised people is its longevity
and the fact that we're not dead.
Yeah, the fact that